Do you have an afro and struggle with shape? Does one portion of your hair grow longer than the other portion of your hair? Maybe you're a beginner and you're just wondering, how do you get your afro to be a bigger, thicker, fuller afro? Well, don't worry, your questions have been answered. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to have the perfect afro. Hey guys, I'm Kozact and I'm back with another video. Before we even get started, if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe and turn on post notifications. If you like hair care, skin care, fitness, fashion, health, you name it, I do videos on it. So go ahead and subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss when I post. And for all of my returning subscribers, of course, thank you guys for having me. Thank you guys for coming back. I appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So if you've ever struggled with just the shape of your hair in general and you're wondering how do you get a thicker, fuller, more reasonably shaped, more traditional shaped afro, I'm here to answer all of those questions in this video here. Alright, so step one, we're going to talk about do's and don'ts. Something that you definitely want to stop doing, so this is going to be a don't, is you're going to go ahead and stop getting your hair shaped up by your actual barber. I know a lot of you guys are thinking, wait, what do you mean by shaped up? By shaped up, I'm not talking about the sides of your hair. I'm not talking about your lineup or anything. I'm talking about them actually cutting and rounding out your hair. You're going to want to go ahead and stop doing that. The reason being, while this might be fine for when your hair is a little shorter, but you have to think about the long run of the way that your hair is going to be shaped in the end here. So although while your barber is cutting it and after he cuts it, your hair might look round, but realistically, once you actually wash your hair, rinse your hair, and pick your hair out once again, you probably won't get that shape again. So in the moment, it might look round and perfect to a T, but in the long run, as your hair grows, people's hair grow at different lengths, different sections of your hair might also grow at different lengths, etc. It's not going to be the best for you in the long run. Which brings me to my first do here. So something that you are going to want to start doing is not cutting your hair at all. Now, what I mean by this is when you're starting to grow your afro while your afro is growing into an afro, you don't want to go to the barbershop and get your hair actually rounded or shaped. You want to allow your hair to grow wildly and just sporadically throughout your head, even if it's uneven at the time, and just allow it to do its thing. What this is going to do is allow your hair to grow fuller, thicker, and longer. You're going to be able to identify which portions of your hair, if any, are going to grow longer than the other, or if you might even have 2 or 3 different hair textures inside of your hair. This is also going to start to shape your afro. This is also going to allow you to see where your afro is going to be and what type of form or shape it's going to take. Now another don't that you're going to want to do.
Bro, what?
Don't that you're going to want to do.
Bro, you tripping, bro.
Is that even English? Now another don't is that you're going to want to stop picking your hair. And I know it sounds crazy, but what I mean by that is at least less often. So an afro naturally, in its natural form, is actually going to be pretty curly. It's not going to be completely straight. And unless you're going for a completely straight afro look, I'd kind of slick recommend against that. Just because you're going to have to pick your afro a lot more often than it would just growing regularly. Hair has some sort of curl texture. Even if your hair is straighter, it still has some sort of curl pattern to it. And if you allow your hair to naturally grow and flourish, it's going to reward you handsomely. Now this brings me back to another do. Now this is the part where your hair is going to take its perfect shape here to actually be the perfect afro. And that is when your hair gets to a longer point where you actually start to see your afro kind of take form and to become an afro. Around when your hair is around, I want to say, maybe around like 5 or maybe 6 inches in length, you want to actually get your hair professionally trimmed. This is so much better. Cannot stress how much better this is going to be for your hair versus going to the barbershop. The barbershop, they're literally eyeing, so he's literally looking at your head and eyeing your hair to be even and round, which is in the long run gonna result in your hair in different portions of it being shorter than the other to get that round shape. versus going to an actual professional stylist and having them actually trim your hair evenly. Then that's where you're going to see that real afro shape. So they're going to straighten your hair, whether it's going to be blow dry, maybe even flat iron in some cases, and actually trim it evenly. When your hair is actually back in its afro form, once again, you're going to see your hair be completely round. So that's where you're going to get that perfect afro shape. Step 2 here, now we're going to talk about product and shape. So after step 1, you've left your hair alone, you've allowed it to grow naturally in its natural form, you're allowing your curl pattern to pop and everything, and you might have even gotten your hair trimmed. Now, we're going to put products in your hair. So you're going to want to apply some sort of conditioner into your afro, of course. Now, since your afro is taking its own curl pattern and you're not straightening it now it's going to give you a lot more volume and depth into your afro. So you're going to want to apply some sort of hair conditioner, some sort of leave-in conditioner into your hair. If you already have a product that's working well for you, that is perfect. Stick to that. We don't want to switch it up too much. If you're looking for something, you can watch one of my product reviews here and kind of decide which one might be a little bit better for you. But products are very important as far as adding volume, adding depth, and adding moisture into your afro, and then you're going to start to continue to have that perfect shape there. And the last thing that I want to talk about here is going to be step 3, and I'm going to double down on this one, is to stop picking your hair as often. So when you pick your hair, it's actually putting your hair at risk of getting single strand knots, or also known as fairy knots, which is basically where a loose hair follicle ties into a attached hair follicle at the very end and breaks off and creates a very small knot somewhere along the strand of your hair. When you're consistently picking your hair, it's going to up the chances of your hair breaking. I very much recommend having just your natural curl pattern and having just a naturally curly afro. And with that being said, that is how you get the perfect afro. If you need any help growing your hair, or you're just not sure where to start, or maybe you're in the middle of your journey, you're not really sure what to do, or maybe you just want to maximize the potential of your hair growth and grow your hair a little quicker, be sure to watch one of these videos here. But that brings me to the very end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave this video a like. And if you really enjoyed it and I helped you out a lot, you can leave a super thanks down below. It's going to be right here. It's basically like leaving me a little tip on the channel. Help the channel directly, and it's going to be very greatly appreciated. And again, if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss when I post. Again, I make videos on hair, fitness, fashion, skincare, you name it. So go ahead and subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss out when I post. I post every single week. I'm Kozact, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.